Welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about teaching you how to create print-on-demand designs that sell. And be sure to stay tuned till the end of the video because I have another 5 bonus niches for you. So in today's video, I want to show you guys how I created this design right here. This is a kind of retro poster style brushstroke design, only instead of the brushstroke design where you get like the one image on each of the brushstrokes, you have the one image that goes across 4 different brushstrokes. So I've seen this done both ways. I've showed a lot of videos showing how to do brushstroke designs where you just have like one image per stroke. This one's a little bit different, but not much. First thing I'm going to do is jump over to Canva here. So we're going to do this all on Canva. And I'm going to start with a custom size. So we're going to go ahead and do 4500 by 5400 pixels. That is the standard t-shirt size that I use. It does ensure that when it prints at above a 300 DPI, and it is sort of the most versatile. I'm going to go ahead and start with a black background, or I might just do a really dark gray so I can see everything. Now, I've done a lot of videos where I show you how to make your own brushstroke frame, which is pretty easy to do just by going up to Elements, searching for brushstroke, and there's all sorts of brush strokes that you can use that you can just line up and kind of create your own frame by lining them up, vertically and doing it that way. For this video, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you, if you jump over to Creative Fabrica, we can just use some of the brushstroke frames that already exist. And so if I jump over to Creative Fabrica right now, and I just went ahead and searched, I could just search brushstroke, which I've done here. And it's going to give you a bunch of different brush strokes. So here's brushstroke textures. Here's already made brushstroke designs. These are going to be the easiest ones. So if you find sort of a grouping that you like in terms of sort of the shape and the separation, you can pick any of them and it doesn't matter. Actually, I kind of like this one. Oops. So this one here looks pretty good. I kind of like the overall shape of the brush strokes and the gaps. I can't tell. I think these lines might be coming out, and so that's not going to work super well for me. Yeah, I'd have to cut those lines out, which isn't a big deal. I could do that. I'd rather not if I don't have to, though. And they're spaced a little bit farther apart than I'd like. But again, it could work. But I'm going to go ahead. Let me go back one more time, see if I can find ones I like a little bit better. This is a little bit too squared off for me. It doesn't really give that brushstroke look so much as it just gives 4 panels. I do actually want it to have a little bit of a rough edge. You can see ones where you have the 4 panels too that are more squared. Those are kind of cool. Here's another one, and it's got, I've seen ones where it sort of pokes out a little bit with the image, and that's kind of cool, but that's not really what I'm going for. And so I can just sort of look at this and try to see if I find ones that I really like the shape and the separation, and then I can just kind of use that. Here's one. Shape looks pretty cool. Separation is pretty even. Let's see, this one might be a good option here. So that's cool as long as there's not any sort of see-throughness. What I can't tell because of, can't tell if there's any see-through elements. Let's go ahead and see. So I'm going to hit download this one, and we'll just download it. Usually downloads as a zip file. We'll have to open the zip file and then just drag that into my downloads here. And then let's go ahead and jump over to Canva, upload it, and see how it looks. So I'm going to go to uploads. I'm going to upload files, and then I'll upload the Cozy Season brushstroke that I just got. And so it looks pretty good. It's solid. There's no see-through elements. That's what I was worried about. So if I'm happy with the overall shape of this, I can go ahead and just use this as my frame. Now I can get rid of the Cozy Season down here by going to Edit. This is super easy, and just do the magic eraser because I don't really want that in the picture. I can crop it out pretty close. I just want to get sort of the top areas here. Hit erase. Perfect. And then hit that. And so now I've got my frame. So now what we're looking for is a picture that we're going to put over all 4 of these little brush strokes. And so I can use AI for this. So I can go over to Elements, and I'm going to get rid of the brushstroke. I can use the AI image generator. AI image generator is really good for things like this, where I just want an overall picture, and it can give me lots of different ideas if I don't have one that I know about. The cool thing about AI is you can use it and know that nobody's ever going to have the exact same picture as you, because AI is constantly coming up with new things. Even if you type in the same prompt and you get something similar, yours will never be the exact same as anybody else's. And so that is one pro that I like about AI, is just the fact that, yes, nobody's going to have the same one. I dislike the lack of control, because I do usually like to control where everything is in my pictures. And so it's a little bit annoying not getting it the way I want it, but give and take. So let's try this. We're going to try a like vintage or retro style. Let's do vintage style Halloween poster. Let's just start there and we'll see what we come up with. It usually gives me some ideas that I can go off of and then sort of fine tune it from there. And so there's some pretty cool things here. This one, you know, you got to realize the bottom is going to get cut off, so it's not quite going to work that way. I mean, this one's kind of cool, but again, I don't necessarily want any words, you know, coming out. I could go vintage style Halloween poster, or I could put like graveyard scene. See if that comes up with anything different, or if you have a specific scene in mind. If you know what you want, if you wanted like witches, or you wanted zombies, or you wanted a haunted house, I mean, you could come up with all sorts of different ways that you could do it. I mean, for example, if I was to take this, now I don't know what those word right there is. I wouldn't want that in my picture, so that's not going to work for me. But I could line this up, put some transparency on it, and see how it might cut off the top of the Halloween. And so just sort of playing with the overall, you know, overlap of it. But I don't know what that word is. I'm not really, just kind of making up words here. That's kind of one of the problems of AI too, is it just sort of likes to make up words sometimes. Let's try again. So I can do this several times until I find something good. Sometimes I get lucky, I find something good right away. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes and I, you know, try a few different things out, and, you know, kind of change the prompts up a little bit to get what I want. You know, this one's kind of cool. It's got some ghosts in it that I kind of like. Spooky season, because it's spooky season. I like the ghosts. I might go with this one. I mean, it's pretty cool. Obviously, this is not going to be the one that I showed you at the beginning, because again, it's always going to give you different images, even if you put in the same prompts. So I put in similar prompts and I got, you know, what I showed you to begin with. Obviously, this is different. Vintage style. Let's go with Halloween poster graveyard scene. All right, so here's one that's a little bit more orangey. This is a little bit closer to what I had. Happy Halloween, but it's still got some weird words down here. Like, I don't know what that is. That one's kind of cool. Happy Halloween there. Maybe no words, graveyard scene. Yeah, see, I say no words and there are words, but you know, this one says Halloween. Does it say anything else other than Halloween? Because Halloween might be another good one I could do. Just plain Halloween. All right, so that one's an option. I like that one. Let's go ahead and add a page. This one just has sort of that haunted house. It's not so much a graveyard, but that's kind of cool. This one says Halloween and it's got the graveyard and the bats. Okay, well, let's go ahead and just start and we'll see what we get. So what I want to do is actually start by downloading the frame. So the way this works is I'm just going to put Brushstroke frame. So Brushstroke frame, I'm going to download it. It is going to download right here. Transparent background. It's a PNG. This is page 1, current page. Hit done. And we'll just download our frame. Perfect. And now we're going to go ahead and select an image. So let's pick one of these. Let's start with the ghost one. I did kind of like that ghost one here. And we are going to use one of the apps, the clipping mask app here. So I'm going to go over to apps. And you can go ahead and search through the apps. There's a whole bunch that you can look at. If you haven't looked at it recently, there's probably a bunch of new ones here. You can go ahead and do a search up here for clipping mask, or if you've already used it, it's going to be saved under your apps. And so that's another easy way to go ahead and find it. So it's this one right here. Looks like a splatter, says clipping mask. And then what we'll do is we'll hit start masking. So with this, it's going to start with the picture that you have as your mask, and you're going to have to put the frame in. So they have shapes that you can use as frames, or you go to image you choose your file, and this is where you're going to pick your frame. So my brushstroke frame is what I'm going to select here. So there, it puts my brushstroke frame there. And now what I'm going to do is blow my brushstroke frame up sort of as big as I can to cover the whole thing. And it's a little tricky at times, be too wide. So once you kind of have it lined up the way you want, it's a little tough to see. You can go ahead and hit add to design. And from here, I'm going to add page. I'm going to move it down so we can see what this ends up looking like. And so it looks like that. And that's pretty cool. If I put it on a black shirt, it's going to look like that. And so that's kind of cool. That's sort of the idea of what we're going for. And so that works, and you can do it as many times as you want. So now that I have my frame, I can do this for as many as I like. So let's say I want to do it now with this one and see if this one is any better. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to hit start masking, image, again, choose file, and I can choose my brushstroke frame, and I can hit open. And it'll pull up my brushstroke frame, and I can try again until I find one that I like. And again, you're going to have to sort of line those brush strokes up where you want them. And it depends. If I'm trying to get Halloween in here, I've got to bring it all the way down to the bottom. But if I bring it down to the bottom, I'm going to kind of lose the top of this. But let's just see what it looks like. Because unfortunately, my frame is a little bit more rectangular, and my design is a little bit more square. So that's what it would look like with that one. And so you can see how to do this. Again, I used an already made brushstroke mask. I could make my own and make it longer and more square shaped. Or I could go ahead and go back to my AI generators and maybe make these a little bit more rectangular shapes so that they fit better. So what if I go back up to elements and I use my generator? And instead of going square, I'm going to do a landscape. And let's generate again. Obviously, the no words thing didn't work, but oh well. I'm going to move that. And so here's one, and that's more rectangular. So it would end up looking a little bit more like that. And that looks kind of cool. But I'm not really getting, not super loving it, because I feel like I'm not getting a main image. Okay, so I just went ahead and pulled up the image that I had as an example for you guys to see. So this is the one that I had gotten originally. So again, repeating the same steps. If I take this and then I go over to my apps and I go to my clipping mask app, I hit start masking, I go to image, I'm going to choose file. This is where you would pick your brushstroke frame, whatever that frame happens to be. You hit open, and it's going to put the frame there, at which point we can go ahead and kind of line it up as best as possible. This is a little bit different because it's a different brush stroke than I used. And so again, you might want your brush strokes to be a little bit longer. These were a little bit shorter, so I'm not quite getting that full height that I had originally. But there it is, and so I can take this here, stretch it out, and so that is the scene that I showed you guys in the example right there. Again, it's a different brush stroke, but you can see how that's done. And then what we did is we just hit T on the keyboard. That pulls up a text box. Here's where I went ahead and I wrote spooky season. Again, you can do whatever colors you like. I think I went ahead, tried to match some of the colors in here. So maybe something like this. And then of course I can pick, whatever font I want. And so all sorts of different spooky fonts that you could pick from. But if I did something like that, you can see I can just put that down here. I can overlap it a little bit. I can add some effects, throw a little bit of a shadow on there if I want to. Maybe go ahead and go with the darker orange in the scene here for the shadow. Again, lose the transparency. I'm going to bring that offset down so it's a lot smaller. Something there. And there is my kind of spooky season. I could even bring that up a little bit. And that's how I made that example there. And you can do this as many times as you want with different images. I found some other images that might work too. And of course, you don't have to use AI. You can use any image that you want, and you can use any brush strokes that you want. So if you don't like the brush strokes that you picked, pick other brush strokes. So for me, these ones were a little bit shorter. The ones I had in my example, I think, were a little bit longer. So I might go ahead and change that to some longer brush strokes. But otherwise, I do like the overall shape that I got out of this. Now, once you have it the way you want it, you would go ahead and title it. So if I wanted to title it Spooky Season, and then go ahead, hit share. I'm going to download this. It is a PNG. You would want it to be a transparent background. You're going to pick whichever page it is that you're on, and then you would hit download, and now it is ready to go up on whatever you want. By the way, this would be really cool on a tote bag, as almost sort of like a Halloween candy bag. So those might do really well this time of year, would be to have Halloween tote bags for candy bags. Pillows, if you wanted to do more decorations. You could do posters if you wanted to do more decoration style. So really, you can be as creative with this as you want. I did want to just show you guys that technique. And of course, you can always make your own brush strokes too. I've got lots of videos showing you how I made my own brush strokes. This was just a way that you could, start with already pre-made brush strokes and just keep using the frame over and over and over again and just put one mask on it. Now, if you wanted to do this, where you had one image per brush stroke, I wouldn't do it this way. I would use my normal way that I use with Photopea, because I like that better, and I have a lot of videos showing how to do that. But when you're just putting one image across all four of them, then this works well, and you don't have to leave Canva. Again, if you have questions, drop it in the comment section below. I do try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I hope you guys are continuing to learn new skills, expand your portfolio. I hope you're having fun, right, and being creative. If you're brand new to print on demand, I do have a print on demand beginner's guide that I sell on Etsy. It's like 20 bucks on sale. And it covers everything you would need to know, including exclusive videos on how to set up an Etsy shop. So if that's something you're interested in, I have it in the description below the video. I'll pin it in the comment section too. And other than that, because you guys were so patient and you did wait until the end of the video, I do have another 5 bonus niches for you. So without any more waiting, these are your 5 bonus Christmas niches. So niche number 1, in a world full of reindeer, be a Rudolph. Number 2, I love this one. It's beginning to cost a lot like Christmas. That's hilarious. Number 3, dashing through the snow, and that is, with a wiener dog. I've seen a lot of different dog pun ones for different dog breeds, and so that can also be very popular for people who have different dog breeds. Number 4, Santa Claus University. And of course, I've seen all sorts of spins on this too with, anything university, anything Christmassy university. So Kris Kringle University, whatever. And then number 5, Crazy Christmas Lady. And we all know one of those. So Crazy Christmas Lady is a funny shirt. I'm sure you can find all sorts of creative ways that you can design for these niches. Again, I hope you guys are doing really well, and I do hope to see you guys again. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.